All right, welcome racing fans to the Motorsports Radio Podcast Network. Recapping this weekend's NASCAR Xfinity Series race from Richmond, which just ended moments ago. Our new format, we do the Richmond Xfinity Series and Truck Series recap the same day of the race, and then Cup Series recap on Monday. So this is the Motorsports Radio breakdown for April 29th, show number 429. So those who look in, we number all our shows and give a little description so no one gets lost. And here it is. It's the Toyota Kia 250. This was from Richmond International Raceway. Another round of short track, another round of Saturday short track racing. The pole sitter here was Daniel Hemrick in the number 21 car. Now, starting second was Kyle Benjamin, a new guy, made his debut today. He was driving the number 20. And then starting in third was Daniel Suarez, who was driving the 18 car, Saturday's Xfinity Series race. Also, another Dash for Cash race as well today, and not a raindrop in sight. In fact, it was a nice 84 degrees down in Richmond. Track temperature 124. Green flag flies, and they are off at 1:15 p.m. Eastern Time. A 3-wide off turn 2, but Daniel Hemrick commands the lead. Suarez then would move up to take second, and Brandon Poole would run and move up and take third. Kyle Benjamin dropped down to 6, and Joey Logano in the FS1 booth. So the 21, 18, and the 48 making up the top 3 at lap 3. Kyle Benjamin spins his tires on turn 2, causing him to lose some mojo. Hemrick's lead just under a half a second. They 0.43 at lap 5, and then grew to a 0.56 at lap 6. And then around lap 14, lap 15, Justin Allgaier moves up to take third, and then moves up to take second, Justin Allgaier in the 7 car. Hemrick's lead at lap 16, a .713. Brandon Poole running down in 7th, lap 25. And Austin Dillon up in 3rd, Suarez down in 4th. But lap 30, lap 31, Justin Allgaier makes his way to the front of the pack. Allgaier in the lead, Austin Dillon 2nd, Hemrick 3rd. Ross Chastain was having some trouble with that number 4 car. He was slowing down out there. But Austin Dillon moves up to take the lead at lap 40. Austin Dillon, which made a nice performance, dominated stage 1. And here it is. Okay, first off, it starts with a 1.3 second lead at lap 42. Okay, it was actually a 1.35. And then it grows to a full 2 seconds. Okay, Austin Dillon, number 2 car. And taking care of some business with 2.5 seconds, okay, at lap 48. On still second place Justin Allgaier. It would quickly grow to a 2.9 second lead, and then a 3.2 second lead. Okay. And then a 5.9 second lead, okay, at lap 57. It was actually a 5.96, okay. Then a 6.14. It would eventually hit the 7-second mark. Austin Dillon taking care of business on stage 1. And I wrote this down about Richmond because I like it. And I know it's not a true tri-oval, but it kind of looks like a baby tri-oval. You know, it really doesn't come to that point in the front there to make it a true tri-oval, but I kind of like it because it looks like a little baby Daytona. All right. But we get into the last 20 of stage 1, and here it is. So Austin Dillon 6.5 seconds at lap 67, 6.6. Okay, so a Cup Series driver showing the Xfinity Series drivers how it's done, if you will. Man, but here it is. 7 seconds, okay? A 7-second lead at lap 69. In fact, to be exact, at lap 72, it was a 7.2 second lead, okay? But then we get to lap 75, and that would be the end of stage number 1. Stage 1, top 5 finishes. Austin Dillon would come in to win stage number 1. Justin Allgaier would come in 2nd. Daniel Hemrick 3rd. Ty Dillon would come in 4th. And then Kyle Benjamin, he would come in 5th. That would be the 2, 7, 21, 3, and the 20. The 2 Dash for Cash drivers would be Justin Allgaier and Daniel Hemrick. This also marks the first caution of the race, a stage caution. It was actually a caution-free stage 1. And then, then they get the field ready to get set up for start of stage 2. Austin Dillon, Justin Allgaier, Daniel Hemrick in the top 3 start positions, 2, 7, and 21. And it goes back. The race goes back to green at lap 87. Austin Dillon and Justin Allgaier side by side, but Allgaier inches by and steals the lead coming off this restart. So Austin Dillon, who dominated stage number 1, it would be Justin Allgaier that would go and dominate stage 2 and stage 3. Here it is. Allgaier in the lead, Austin Dillon second, Ty Dillon third. So we got another Cup driver up there looking to crash the party, because here comes Kyle Larson battling Ty Dillon for that third place spot. But Ty Dillon wasn't letting him get by too quickly. But Kyle Larson would get by. There it is. By lap 93. So nitty-gritty between the 3 and the 42, but then again, lap 93, as mentioned, the 42 would prevail, and Kyle Larson would work his way up to third. So a 7-2-42 top 3 at lap 93, while Austin Dillon had a 7-second lead on Justin Allgaier at the closing stages of stage 1. Justin Allgaier now in stage 2, even though he was dominating, not much of a lead at all, just half a second, actually a .68. On lap 97. And so even though Allgaier does race in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series, he does declare his points in Xfinity Series, which also makes him Dash for Cash eligible. So the Dash for Cash eligible, right, I know we explained like a million times. So the Xfinity Series drivers, the top 2 finishes get advanced to there's 3 stages, right? So the first 2 from stage 1 advance, and then the next 2 get in from stage 2 advance, and then you got 4 drivers, and out of those 4 drivers, the best finish wins $100,000, and that's the Dash for Cash. I think there's one more set up for Dover, if I'm not mistaken. So we got Xfinity Series driver getting chased down by 2 Cup Series drivers as Justin Allgaier stays up front. But then we get lap 115 and a little mojo record here. Caution number 2. This is for the 28 car. Gets loose. A spin and smoke. This is for Dakota Armstrong. Got loose. Looked like turn 2. Actually was turn 2. And this would be the second caution. Then we get back to green at lap 125. No change in the top 3 here. Last 50 of stage 2, Allgaier in front, getting harassed by Kyle Larson, who moved up to take second, but Allgaier puts the pedal to the metal and separates himself from the pack. Kyle Larson then would drop down to third. So now we get back to a 7-2-42 top 3. Allgaier with a 1-second lead now on Austin Dillon, a 1.1 at lap 133, there was a 1.4 at lap 135, and then a 2.1 at lap 147, and then we had a Fox crank it up. I like to crank it up. And then stage 2 wraps up at lap 150, so here it is. Justin Allgaier comes in and wins stage number 2. The top 5 finishes. Justin Allgaier for the win. Austin Dillon comes in second. And then Ty Dillon, he'd come in third. Kyle Larson 4th. Daniel Hemrick 5th. So that's the 7, the 3, the 42, and the 21. Dash for Cash drivers here. Kyle Benjamin and Elliott Sadler, the 20 and the 1. Also the third caution, stage caution here. And then this setup for stage 3. Top 3 start positions. Austin Dillon, okay, he would climb back up to take the lead into the restart, winning a race off pit road. Justin Allgaier would start in second, then Kyle Larson moves up 1 spot to start in third. Then we had Michael Waltrip hanging out in the grandstands, hanging out with some NASCAR fans, which is kind of cool. And we got the green flag flying, and then it's back to green at lap 164 inside the last 100. Justin Allgaier once again steals the lead from Austin Dillon, and then Kyle Larson steals. So here's what happened here. Justin Allgaier steals the lead from Austin Dillon. Dillon drops down to second. Then Kyle Larson steals second. And then Austin Dillon drops down to third. And that all happened within a couple of laps. So you had Allgaier, Larson, Dillon, lap 167. But then Austin Dillon's little brother, Ty Dillon, he goes and steals third. And then so Austin Dillon then would drop down to fourth. So that was a little funny right there. But Allgaier, the 7 car, with a 2.4 second lead on Kyle Larson at lap 177. Then we get question number 4. This would be for J.J. Yeley. He was dropping some fluid at turn 4, so that could have been anything. He was driving the 14 car, so we get back to green here at lap 186. Justin Allgaier continuing his domination. Top 3, lap 197. Justin Allgaier, Ty Dillon now running second, and then running third, Kyle Larson. Austin Dillon still down in fourth. But Allgaier with a 1.7 second lead on Ty Dillon was actually a 1.798 at lap 204, and then a 2.321 at lap 210. But hold on, because now we have Elliott Sadler who breaks the top 3, lap 214. So now we got Allgaier, Ty Dillon, Elliott Sadler first, second, third, 7-3 in the 1. And this was interesting here. And then Elliott Sadler moves up to take second. Sadler, a threat potential as the short track showcase starts winding down. Elliott Sadler cutting Justin Allgaier's lead to 1.5 seconds. It was a 1.568 at lap 231. Ty Dillon down to third. Elliott Sadler in the number 1 Golden Corral car. Oh, I love the Golden Corral. Allgaier in the red and black Bandit car. And then the top 2 start mixing in with some lap traffic, which always kind of messes things up. But, the reason why you want to get to lap traffic is because you want to get yourself, if you're the leader, you want to get yourself in front of some lap cars to make it a little difficult for the guy that's chasing you down, because now you got some lap cars in between you and the guy that's the second place guy. So now that second place driver, he has to maneuver through some lap traffic to catch up to you. So that's why that always becomes an advantage. So now, then we get question number 5, okay? And this is what led to, for those who just watched the race, there was a little mix-up, and here's what happened, all right? It all started here. The 78 car, BJ McLeod, up in smoke, backstretch, smoke and flames. Probably was an engine. Usually that's the issue in a case like that. The car just starts smoking, and it's, and you can always tell because when the tires smoke, it's a different kind of smoke. But when the car just starts smoking and then you get the inside filling up, then that's usually a sign that the engine's expired. So this brings out caution number 5, okay? And then we have a restart lap 245, which was originally going to be a 5-lap shootout because we're now inside of the last 10. So we get back to green. Now, Ty Dillon for some reason was in front, but it turns out he actually jumped the restart, so we're going to get to that too. But here's what happened. So we go back to green, and then we had a little big one. Not really a big one, a short track big one, if you will. So this 5-lap shootout, we scratched that. So a bunch of cars, okay, got banged up. And it started with Daniel Suarez, man. 18 car just gets loose into the wall. And then, as soon as into the wall, a few lengths back, we have a 3 wide that gone wrong, okay? And that's what happened. So this brings out the 6th caution. And I don't know who the other 3 cars were. I didn't get the car numbers, but this will bring out the 6th caution and a brief red flag. So now Ty Dillon, what happened with Ty Dillon is he got popped for a violation of the restart. He actually jumped the restart. So everybody knows, right, the restart, whoever the control car is that's the guy that's in the lead coming into the restart. You get into the restart zone, there's actually 2 lines. They don't go across the track. They're marked on the side there. So the leader could pick which line to start hitting the gas at. So whoever's behind him, you cannot get in front of the leader until he crosses the second line. That's how that works. So once you get out of that restart zone, but it's a little tricky because it's confusing because you would think the start-finish line would be the restart. That's why it's a little confusing. Sometimes you have some hairy stuff in that restart zone, but basically you can't pass nobody until you get to the start-finish line, because technically it's still a yellow flag until you cross the start-finish line. That's why the guy's there with the flag in the first place. So that's that. So So now the field, they get set up for another restart, and this is what happened. So restart lap 251. This actually, so we went from a 5-lap shootout, we get a wreck, and then we get into some NASCAR overtime, alright? So we get to a restart at lap 251. Kyle Larson as the new leader, Justin Allgaier in second, and because Ty Dillon jumped the restart on the last restart from caution 5, he gets sent to the rear. And the funny thing is that Austin Dillon, he would restart in third. Now, if that didn't confuse you, wait till you get this. Restart lap 251. Okay, it was good, so they got to the overtime line, but, okay, Larson and Allgaier side by side. A little slip up by Allgaier puts Kyle Larson back in the lead. Kyle